Joining me now is Pete Buttigieg, Biden campaign surrogate and former mayor of South Bend, Indiana. Good to have you with us this evening. You know, we talked at the beginning of the show, Mayor Pete, about the schedule. Obviously, you couldn't have more different schedules. The president is in a different state every 3 hours, and Joe Biden was in Delaware. We've talked about this before, you and I. You know, is that the way to do this in the home stretch? And why isn't he
pretty sure he was in
more?
Georgia yesterday. He was in Delaware where he was voting. I think he's coming to Florida soon. And obviously his strategy is working, given that the Biden-Harris campaign is pulling ahead. Now, we're also not taking anything for granted, which is why you're going to continue to see not just Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but folks like me out there pounding the ground, because we want to make sure that we get out every vote.
So just to be clear, the Trump campaign has made 8 stops since Sunday. Today is Wednesday. The Biden campaign stops have been 2. And as you say, he is going to be back on the road tomorrow. And, you know, as you say, this is a very competitive race, so it may turn out that less is more in this race. We'll see. But it's clearly something that all the strategists will be examining. With regard to the fracking
I'm not even sure those
issue,
visits from Donald Trump are really helping him, though, right? Like, you look at Omaha, he left his supporters out freezing in the cold, which is a great metaphor for how he's treated his supporters more generally across the country. In Arizona, you got a bunch of people in a rally that has the potential to be a spreader event, which kind of symbolizes his inability to lead us out of this pandemic.
We've heard that line a lot.
I mean, it's fine. It may or may not be. I don't think these events are really helping him.
And like I said, we'll see whose strategy turns out to be the right one. It may be that in this environment, it's better to do less and stay home more. So we'll see. With regard to the issue on fracking, this is something that I think really was the biggest takeaway, perhaps, from the final debate, this issue of transitioning away from oil as a country. Are you concerned that that is what is causing some of the tightening that we're seeing in some of these Rust Belt states?
No, I think one of the reasons why we're seeing him continue to have very strong support, especially in the Midwest where I come from, but really in a lot of states that normally Democrats can't even compete in, is that he understands that climate change is real, and he's put forward a way to deal with it that supports workers in the energy industry through this transition. Look, nobody my age or younger, and I suspect maybe most Americans, period, no one really thinks that we're going to have the exact same energy profile in 2050 that we do in 2020. Now, you can either pretend that's not a reality, just like the president wants to pretend the pandemic is not a reality, or you can get the American people and the American economy ready for it by ensuring that workers who are working today in the energy industry will continue to be able to do it.
Yeah. I mean, we have gone through a period where fracking has allowed this country to become energy independent from the Middle East. That's a tremendous dynamic change in the geopolitical environment in the world. Don't you think that that was a good change?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, Joe Biden defeated some Democrats who were further to his left, who called for an outright ban on fracking, which he opposes. I think his position is one that really resonates with the American people, who understand that in the long run, we're going to need to continue transitioning to more renewable energy, which is obviously not going to happen when the sitting president of the United States says climate change is a hoax and that windmills kill birds. And at the same time, he also has expressed support for that to happen in a way that doesn't mean a ban on fracking. You know, if the Democratic Party wanted to choose a candidate who was for an outright, total, immediate ban, then they would have chosen somebody else.
Well, it was just his own words that confused people, I think. But it's an evolving position. Thank you very much, Pete Buttigieg. Good to have you with us tonight.